Hello and welcome, dear students. Today we are going to discuss very important concept, that's curriculum and its importance. After this discussion, you should be able to know the concept of curriculum, understand the importance of curriculum, know the various characteristics of curriculum, understand the various components and principles of curriculum. First, we will discuss what's curriculum. In the modern economically driven world, education and equity for all humankind are of prime concern to many educators. The dissection of curriculum to assess its outcome and relevance for the majority of students may guide us in shaping our education appropriately for human development in present times and the future to come. Therefore, designing right curriculum to impart right education is of vital importance in the modern education system. Curriculum is the soul of the process of education. It is the heart of education and mind of the all course and all that only goes with it. Curriculum does not mean only the academic subject traditionally taught in the school, but it includes the totality of experiences that the pupil receives through the manifold activities that go in the school, in the classroom, library, laboratory, workshop, and playground, and in the numerous informal contacts between the teacher and the pupil. In this sense, the whole life of the school becomes the curriculum, which can touch the life of the students at all points and help in the evaluation of a balanced personality. Curriculum is not static, it is dynamic. It is constantly changing according to the changing needs, demands, and aspirations of the society. Therefore, it should be treated differently. First, curriculum development should be viewed at an ongoing dynamic process, always be in a state of planned changes. Second, the process of curriculum design should be adaptable and applicable to many different subjects and situations. Finally, the teacher should have a primary role in the design process. They should not be relegated to a secondary position in identifying appropriate curriculum for their students. The word curriculum is derived from a Latin word currere, which means to run. So, the curriculum means a course to be run for reaching a certain goal. Whatever its definition, a curriculum needs to be flexible enough to meet the needs of the variety of students. Now, let us discuss a few definitions about curriculum. Various research workers and writers have defined curriculum in a number of ways. Let us reproduce here a few important. First, Crow and Crow. The curriculum includes all the learners' experience in or outside school that are included in a program which has been devised to help him developmentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually, and morally. Cunningham. Curriculum is the tool in the hands of the artist, teacher, to mold his material pupils according to his ideas, aims and objectives in his studio, school. Then Monroe. Curriculum includes all those activities which are utilized by the school to attain the aims of education. Hilda Taba, curriculum is interpreted to mean all the organized courses, activities and experiences which students have under the direction of school, whether in the classroom or not. Now, after definitions, let us discuss importance of curriculum. The need of education determines the importance of curriculum. Curriculum is the essential tool in the hands of the teacher through which child's personality is being built. The main points in respect of the need and importance of a curriculum are: number 1, philosophy of education is translated into action through curriculum. It gives the practical shape to the philosophy underlying education. Second, curriculum can build up a suitable method of teaching to be adopted by the teacher. How to teach depends upon what to teach. Third, organized and systematic study of a subject is made possible through curriculum. A subject of study appears to be well defined through its course of study. Fourth is, achievement of an educational aim is made possible through working out of the curriculum. It can make our educational aim a reality. Then fifth is, evaluation of knowledge and achievement of the learner and their classification and gradation is made possible through the curriculum. Sixth, curriculum can serve as guide to learning and teaching. In the absence of it, the program of activity of the students and the teachers will be quite confusing. Seventh, it also develops the feeling of appreciation and sound judgment. Eighth, it also prepares for scientific inventions and technical developments. Ninth, it brings perfection in the child and helps in the all-round development. Then, curriculum is necessary to link up the human knowledge and experience of the past, present, and future, and helps in presentation of them in a correlated way. It is a powerful instrument of social change as well as social control. Now, let us talk about characteristics of curriculum. The curriculum considers many aspects such as course objectives, institutional facilities, individual needs, and social requirements, and so on. Hence, it possesses certain characteristics. First, it must be mostly based upon the first-hand experiences of the pupils from all the significant areas of human living. These experiences are characterized by newness, novelty, challenge, stimulation, and creativity. Content receives increasing emphasis as the children move to the higher grades. Then, it should emphasize intellectual structures and conceptual themes. Next is, it should provide sufficient scope for the cultivation of skills, interest, attitude, and appreciations. Then, it should aim at bringing about an intelligent and effective adjustment with the environment itself. Then, it should foster the growth or development of attitude and skills required for maintaining a planned social order of democratic type. To put more concretely, it should contribute towards democratic living. Then, it is tested and improved through research. Lastly, it should not be narrowly conceived, should not be static but dynamic and forward-looking. Now students, let us discuss about components of curriculum. Curriculum development involves 4 basic elements. These elements are interdependent and are 1. Objectives, 2. Content or subject matter, 3. Methods of teaching or strategies of teaching, and 4. Evaluation. First, what's objectives in curriculum? The subjects, content structure, levels of students, and type of examination components are considered in the evaluation of objectives of teaching and learning. These objectives are specific and are written in behavioral terms so as to develop learning structure and conditions. Second, content or subject matter. The content of any subject is usually broad. It is analyzed into sub-contents and further into elements. These elements are arranged in a logical sequence. The behavioral objectives are written with the help of these elements of the content. It is also known as logic of teaching. Third, strategy of teaching. The specific objectives of teaching are attained with the help of appropriate teaching strategy. The behavioral objectives provide the awareness and insight about the specific learning conditions. The strategy is employed for providing learning experiences and bringing desirable behavioral changes. Fourth, evaluation. The level of students' attainment is evaluated by employing criteria referenced tests. It shows the effectiveness of strategy of teaching and its components. The interpretation of evaluation provides the feedback to the curriculum and its components. These components are improved and modified so as to attain the objectives of teaching and learning. It is an empirical basis for the curriculum development. Now students, let us discuss steps of curriculum development. There is commonness to most technical, scientific and top-down approaches to curriculum development. Ronald Dahl lists a compendium of suggestions for planning program that reveals this sameness in the scientific technical approach as number 1, surveying the scene. It is logical to identify the context within which we are going to create a program. This surveying action is what allows district personnel to ascertain what makes their school system the same as or different from other systems. Second, assessing needs. Needs most often focus on individuals, usually on students and occasionally on teachers. Rarely are the needs of the organization of the school considered in a need assessment. Third, identifying and defining problems. Once needs are identified, we require some demarcation of the nature of the problem. Not all needs are identified at the onset of the planning process. Many emerge as the stages are activated. Then, recalling accepted aims and goals. Needs and problems are shaped in part by aims and goals of those involved in the planning and those present in the community in which the school is located. From the analysis of aims and goals, curriculum planners are able to generate program objectives or instructional objectives for the curricula. Then, making proposals and evaluating them. At this step, we consider essential problems and the means of addressing them. Proposals are considered in the light of the general aims and goals previously deemed appropriate for the school. Then, preparing designs. Here, the shaping of the components of design and the selecting of the particular design for the program occur. Instructional materials and methods are reviewed and recommended. Next is organizing the workforce. This step seems a bit out of sequence. The school, in its adoption process, looks at the workforce in its attempt to establish and implement the curriculum. Then, supervising the planning process. For planning to proceed smoothly, the process must not be administered but also supervised to determine if all is going as intended. Supervision may be directed by central district policy, but usually it will be done at the school level by those directly involved in planning and developing the curriculum. Then, utilizing the products of planning. This step is essentially performed by the classroom teacher. The degree of acceptance of the new program material depends on whether teachers have been involved in the planning process and whether necessary in-service has been provided so that teachers feel comfortable with the new material and or program. Then, applying evaluation means. This refers to raising questions as to whether the actions of planning and implementation have actually produced some program that effectively addresses the aims, goals and objectives of the curriculum. The key questions are: does the program work? To what extent? How can it be improved? Then let us discuss principles of curriculum construction. Curriculum development involves certain principles which need to be considered to fulfill the requirements of the individual and the society and to achieve the aims and objectives of the institution. Those principles are: number 1, principle of totality of experiences. In the first phase, it must be clearly understood that according to the best modern educational thought, curriculum in this context does not mean only the academic subjects traditionally taught in the school, but it includes the totality of experiences that people receives through the manifold activities. Second, principle of child-centeredness. Child's nature and needs should be of primary consideration in the construction of curriculum. Child is the central point around which all the curricular activities in the school revolve and develop. Third, principle of creativity. Even a child has got some creative power. In the curriculum, the students should be provided an opportunity for creative work. Perfect development of the child's personality is impossible without an opportunity to express his creative power. Then fourth, principle of integration. The curriculum should not split up into watertight academic subjects. Various subjects included in the curriculum at a particular stage of education should be integrated and correlated with many other as well as with the real life of the pupils. The school curriculum should be divided into broad fields which have direct connection with life. Fifth, principle of flexibility. In order to serve the varying needs of the individual on the one hand and society on the other, curriculum should follow the principle of flexibility and dynamism. It should allow the desirable changes and modifications of its contents from time to time in order to keep it up to date. Sixth, principle of utility. It is a very important principle that at the time of curriculum construction, utility instead of special knowledge or logical sequence should be the base. Only that which is useful to the individual and society should be included in the curriculum, and which is not useful should be excluded. Then, principle of character formation. Aim of curriculum identifies itself with development of character and personality in the students. It should train their desirable traits and qualities of character through related activity and program. Then eighth, the social principle. The curriculum should be connected with the social life of the people. Since man is the social being, he cannot be isolated from this. Therefore, while constructing of the curriculum, we cannot ignore the social life of the people. The social principle of the curriculum construction will help for training in citizenship. Then, principle of correlation. Curriculum should not ignore the natural affinity that exists in between the subjects. It should aim at giving a whole view of knowledge to students instead of compartmentalizing the subjects. For this, it should combine and correlate between theory and practice of knowledge. Dear students, with this, we have come to the end of this lecture. Hope you have enjoyed and understood the content well. Thank you very much.